said some things, and come to find out, he's just got this terrible theology. But he was fixated on where is it in the Old Testament where it says that Christ would be raised on the third day, because Paul says according to Scripture. And I said that the according to Scripture is that he would be raised. Okay, the third day is just, and how do we know that's correct? That he's not focusing on the third day, he's focusing on Christ coming out of the grave. It's because elsewhere Paul gives the gospel, such as in Romans 10, 9, and 10, and he says nothing about the third day. Okay, so the focus is on the act of resurrection. He just acknowledged that it was on the third day, which matches everybody else's testimony because Paul wasn't there with the other apostles. He's confirming what Peter claims. Okay, but it actually is recorded in Scripture in typology. Does anybody know where? Because typology?
Jonah?
No. Well, Jonah is it's 3 days and 3 nights in the belly of the fish, and that can be taken differently, okay? We can talk about that sometime. It's a little bit of a... I've got the timeline of Jesus' resurrection, and people say that he had to be in the grave for 72 hours. It had to be 3 days and 3 nights, or it's not a fulfillment of the prophecy. That's not correct, and I'm not going to get into it now. I've got it all typed out on the timeline of Jesus' Passion Week. It is very clear that he raised on the third day, not after 3 days, okay? That's very clear. Scripture gives no other possibility of that. The timeline is given, and the 3 days and 3 nights is also repeated in one... Wait, let me finish what I'm saying. There's one other time in Scripture where that same phrase is used. It is in the book of Esther, and it's clearly not 3 days and 3 nights. Okay, it is an idiom that Christ was using from the book of Esther. Yes?
Didn't we cover something like that just recently?
I don't know.
Jonah? Or not Jonah, but in Joshua.
It's possible. I don't know. I mean, I cover it so often because people bring it up every single Easter or Resurrection Day or whatever you want to call it. People bring it up and they argue their side of it, and they're wrong. He was the crucifixion was not on a Wednesday and it was not on a Thursday. It was on a Friday. Scripture gives no other possibility than that. But I will tell you where the 3 days explicitly is said, but in typology. Okay? This is typology, and typology is a way of conveying a message. Oh, everybody got that? So if something is properly handled from typology, and yes, people take typology and they make it say anything, and you can't do that, but if you were properly evaluating typology, you go to, let's see here, where is it? It's right in here. It's in Genesis 22, and it says that he himself laid out the wood. God tested Abraham, rode his donkey. He split the wood. Stay here, and I will go yonder. And, 3 days. And it's exactly the typology that we need. Okay, and it says the third day. Okay, so we have the typology of Isaac dying, which is confirmed in the book of Hebrews, because it says he, in a sense, brought him back. Okay, so he died and he was resurrected. So we have Isaac had the wood on his back. He carried it up the hill. Christ carried his cross. All the typology is there. It's all we need. So there is a third day in the Old Testament if you need it. But that is not what Paul is focusing on. Paul is focusing on the resurrection itself, because the gospel, as I said, is repeated elsewhere, and he does not say the third day. If it was necessary for us to believe it was on the third day, then it would be in every gospel presentation. It's not. I know that's a bit of a diversion, but it's something that people can work on. Anyway,